Worry Kyle this Gònmąn. You see me place in Pleasant Heights. I said vibes it a come off for the man them when me saying yesterday. So now the one day when them they shot out all a female back a female friend them go back and kill a youth. What the youth what them do say innocent youth this star them youth a sell Them youth not deal with no gun thing or no badness. You see me him just living at the hill. But through them want Smiley for kill, for take shame out of them eye, and murder the youth dog. So them deal with the man.
Welcome back to MyView TV, the people's platform, the home of undiluted news, reviews, updates, and your daily dose of entertainment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in your cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple me.
Wagwan people, hope everybody okay, hope everybody alright. Enjoy the little things in life, for one day you may look back and realize that they were the big things. Can't say me never tell on that. I may have something else to tell the people them, so I want to look clean out on the ears and listen right now. You see, when you talk the truth, people don't really like you. That's why I always talk the truth, because I'm a friend and company business about there, Remember, I'm born alone. He's a loner. I mean, always be a loner. Make I tell you something. Wrong set of people them are dead, yeah, man. Now the gunman them fear dead way, them a shoot off and kill. No. We need to change the system. And I want to get to the friends and run go report it to YouTube and say YouTube want incite violence, and the violence we incite and the truth. You understand? Some of the man them in that brown suit bat for start fly, and the politician them a feed them bat for fly, And the little gunman them create. You understand? And when them can't angle them no more, you see them send them police and go get rid of them. No. Leave them alone. Oh, no need for start go now. Fool no bat and fool no family bat. Need for start fly. Cause me want to know. You understand? This is what me want to know now. How comes this already you get $5 million bill? That's what me want to know, You understand? You see this country? We do. Remember good now. Me talk it as it is and as it might be already. You understand? Friend and company business run this man. Once you have money, you can push to the top of the ladder. Worse when you have the people them at the top, secret business, anything will go on for you. You understand? Because $5 million bill, oh, this makes sense. More somebody come tell me for the people them who wonder what me I talk about. Let me tell you Wagwan now. Godfrey Martin, aka Rev, has been granted bail in the sum of $5 million. Remember them say, yo, I'm the gun smuggler. Yes, the big gun smuggler. The 51-year-old Martin, otherwise known as Rev, has been charged with conspiracy to illegal importation of gun and conspiracy to illegal importation of ammo. Bail was granted when he appeared in the gun court on October 13th. And this year that they keep quiet, and Bailey come and tell me just Tuesday. And this is how Bailey make we know.
I am aware that he is out on bail and he has some reporting conditions. In terms of the investigation, the matter is currently before court, and I can't comment much on it. It's still before court.
As me say, once you have money and you have them secret, anything is possible. You understand? That is why them let him out. But make I move on and give the paper them some more news. The news jam packed, so make I start. A man who is said to be the main suspect in a deadly attack in Spring Village Football Complex in St. Catherine last month is now in police custody. Tell us the police them are idiot, man. Look at this. The suspect is said to be the leader of the one-order gang in Spanish Town, was captured Tuesday afternoon during an operation in the Old Capital. He is to be questioned by a detective attached to the Major Investigation Division. 9 people were shot, 3 fatally, when armed thugs invaded Spring Village Complex during a football match on September 18. Several employees of the Jamaican Boilers were wounded in the incident. The gunmen were confronted by 2 off-duty police officers and a licensed firearm holder. 2 women and a man were killed. The investigators said the dead man was a target of the attack. The cops say a dispute over an illegal gun went missing was the motive behind the shooting. Anyway, now people, police them are either. So what I said, I mean what I said, I mean I take it back. But watch me, I move on. The case against 2 policemen charged with murder almost 14 years after a fatal shooting has been set for mention on January 26th next year in the St. Catherine Circuit Court. The date was set when Sergeant Gervin Leachman and Constable Dane Lawson appear in court on Monday as the case file is incomplete. Bail was further extended by Justice Bertram Morris after 14 years. The file is still incomplete. Anyway, I'm telling people about going power going right this year. The cops are being accused of the September 22nd, 2008 shooting death of Javane Robinson on Jobs Lane, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The allegation are that at about 3:30 p.m. on the day in question, the police conducted an operation along Jobs Lane, Spanish Town. During the operation, Robinson was allegedly shot and killed by police when he challenged them. The police reported the seize an illegal gun in the incident. The investigation was launched into the matter on April 2022. Office of Director of Public Prosecution ruled that the policeman be charged with murder. Anyway, make I move on with the news here, man. A security guard of a church was one of 4 men arrested after the place of worship was broken into and more than 600,000 worth of items was stolen. And guess what, people? The man them left the Bible and the olive oil. The men who fled, leaving the stolen items after they were accosted by police, was held following an investigation by lawmen into the robbery. It's reported that between the hours of 9:45 p.m. last Sunday and 12:30 a.m. the following day, the Spalding New Testament Church in Clarendon was broken into. Had to be Clarendon, my people. The police says 6 speaker box, 8 LED light, and a case of tissue were stolen. Items valued at 660,000. Police said shortly after the robbery, the men were traveling along the main road in Spalding when they saw a police patrol divert onto another church compound and fled, leaving the car with the stolen items. A motorbike was also found parked beside the car. The police seized the car, the bike, and recovered the stolen items. Hours later, at about 5 a.m., 2 of the men were picked up in the town by Sergeant Romaine Brooks and a team from the Spalding Police Station. Sergeant Brooks was a member of the patrol team that saw the men divert onto the church compound. Listen to this, I want to know, people. One of the 2 men was the owner of the seized car, was found with a remote control for the vehicle. He was taken to his home in Ulster Spring, Trelawney, where lawmen seized top shelf liquors, crocus bag filled with cell phones, tablets, and several flat screen television. A long time my boy, you're a thief, man. This man, police investigators later discovered, was recently released from prison and served time for housebreaking and larceny. Me always come and me telling you this. Them now not change, you know. Once them go round there for something, them a come out, come do the same thing and hold on there. I bet you say bird for feather flock together. Now go read the next one profile now. The other man was discovered to be on bail for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. He is banned from entering St. Anne's and was reporting to Bluefield Police Station in St. Mary. Them a told for that should I get 8. Me be honest with the people. Police said the other 2 men, the church security guard and the owner of the seized motorbike, were picked up after further investigation. The man them just leak and tell them the information. Now look at this piece of news. Simeon Sutherland, the man accused of murdering former PNP party member of parliament Dr. Lyndell Bloomfield, whose trial was set to begin in the Open Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, has disappeared. Yes, paper. The man disappeared. All of the information, you understand? Only paper information in the lake, you know. That type of business, them, you know. The cricket type of business. Sutherland was represented by attorney at law Peter Champagne, reported he met with the lawyer along with his parents on Wednesday morning at the office. Oh, hold on. From the office to just gone so in a thin ear. You know, man. People don't want them information reach a road. When the matter was called up before senior court judge Justice Leighton Pusey, Sutherland, who was said to be on his way, did not show up despite the court taking a break to allow him time. Defendant parents reported it said they dropped him off at the entrance of the court on King Street in downtown Kingston. Anyway, people, you are going now. In a dramatic turn-up event, Sutherland's mother, who stood shorty for her son, 800,000 bail, was ordered taken into custody. In the meantime, Champagne told the court he was beyond surprised by the action of his client. From the other day, your client just a surprise you, say. Anyway, this is what he have to say.
Took place today in court is absolutely surprising. That's the first thing. And barring any excuse, reasonable excuse for the absence of Mr. Sutherland, I would not want the message to be received that it is okay for you to have access to legal representation in the form of myself on the scam, and it is okay to take leave of the process and re-engage at a subsequent occasion forcefully and believe that you can have access adequate representation. It doesn't work like that. We are a part of the justice system. It ought to be respected. And I also wanted to indicate that it doesn't go well for persons on bail. So when you have something like this, the question is always going to arise, should I, in the mind of a judge, extend a person's bail in these circumstances? Of course, again, as I say, I would add the caveat, barring any reasonable explanation for the absence. And just to date, at this moment in time, there is no reasonable explanation that has come forward.
So earlier you asked the judge to release you.
Yes.
Could you speak to us about that?
That is predicated on what I just said. It cannot be okay for any lawyer or any client, I should say, to believe that the client can absent himself or herself from the process. And if re-engage and you're able to have a similar access or same access to the attorney that had the matter first. It doesn't go like that, certainly from where we are concerned. And that is why I'd asked the judge to consider releasing us from the engagement in terms of the trial. And I didn't think that the judge had a problem with that, but I think that the judge wanted us to be present in the event that Mr. Sutherland is brought back before the court and he's able to speak. And in an event this morning, as you would have seen, there would have been nobody there to accept an assignment, and it would have to be with the concurrence with Mr. Sutherland.
Mr. Champagne,
yes.
Was your client considering pleading guilty this morning?
That is something that I would not want to say yes or no to, because of course you'd appreciate that if he's brought back, you don't want a situation where there's prejudice, where the members of the public were sensitized to a particular course of action. So that is a comment or a question rather that I would not want to answer at this moment.
And his mother, surely, have you had a chance to even see her after everything, after the court process?
I spoke to her briefly, and the obligation of a surety is as it is. When you act as a surety for someone, your obligation is to ensure that the person attends court, and in the event that that fails without a reasonable explanation again, then you have to pay the amount to which you committed to in terms of the surety. In this instance, you would have heard in court that it was $800,000 bond.
And when it is paid, she will be released?
Well, that is subject to other investigations, and that's another matter that I'm not here to discuss. I don't want to. One has to be careful not to prejudice any particular situation. So I leave it.
Watch my time move on to news, army people. A man who claimed he was kept in custody by the Hanover police for a week without any criminal charge has filed a lawsuit against the state. Orlando Griffith was taken into custody on October 25th and released at 3:30 p.m. on November 1st, according to a lawsuit filed by his attorney, Donovan Collins. Collins complained that on Tuesday that the Hanover police were in breach of a court order made on October 31st that Griffith and another man either be charged with a crime or released by 5 p.m. that day. The lawsuit seeks damage for breaches of Griffith's constitutional rights and false imprisonment. Anyway, people, that is that where that is concerned. Guess what? Me tell you so one sleepy wake up and start talking, Sleeping now, don't talk for now, in mouth set pan spring. The police are not the problem. Chang accused the media of misplaced focus in police and criminal interaction. National Security Minister, alright, Sleepy Chang, yes, him say about me attack, that the media has placed too much focus on the death of criminal and not enough on member of the security forces, which is true, people. You understand? Which is true. But Chang, remember me and you know say you're not afraid of nobody, so you just need to call them and tell them organization they say them to stop back criminal. You understand? Criminals too slap with them families. But anyway, you are one from Sleepy himself now, people.
I think sometimes they are demotivated by elements which seek to swing the balance away from the criminals to the policing. And I mention this because last month was the numbers were not as severe, as in fact were a little bit less, but there were some very significant activities, some very painful activities. And what was featured at the end of the day by the public media, I felt a little bit, I'm concerned. During the middle of month of October, at the end of the month, the headline was 19 police fatal shooting. We have built a history and a legacy which says police fatal shooting is extrajudicial killing, which is a total falsehood. But the fact is, if police engage criminals and they are shot, it's a fatal shooting. And the more the public opinion leaders and media project this in a certain light, understand that the police being seen now as conducting themselves in a manner that is, I said, seeking to conduct extrajudicial killing. I raise it, Madam Speaker, because during the middle of October, while 19 men were killed in combat, every single one in this case, known criminal and engaged the police in criminal activity. We lost a number of security personnel, but I mentioned two police officers, which went by like another incident. Focus is very rarely on the police officer and the risk they face, and the need to ensure that they are properly equipped with the tools to fight criminals, as well as the legislation we need. I really think it is time that this narrative that seeks to literally have our police officers seen as the problem and not the criminals that are scattered across the country, brutally killing people, operating at a level of impunity from time to time that is worrying, and the police who are facing them, who themselves face this kind of heavily armed criminal, needs to have the full support of the community. As government, we can only provide them with the appropriate tools, which we are doing. We're expanding it, and when we do so, at the stage we are at, Madam Speaker, we're going to have more fatal shootings. In fact, it's inevitable because the police intelligence is getting better. We are moving aggressively to complete our suite of communication equipment for them, and I don't mean necessarily equipment to listen interview, but the microwave system, we're giving them more motor vehicles. Therefore, when we hear threat for life, we save criminals. But they also pick up intelligence that will allow them to intercept more of the criminal gangs going to kill each other. And when that happens, we're going to have police engaging them. To me, it's annoying. I find it objectionable that in those contexts, the image is still going that we have policemen who are out there seeking just to kill. They're out there to protect, and they are faced with gunmen. They have to respond. And they are trained to respond, and I expect an engagement. The police should win. We lost 2 last week. I expect at all times the policemen who are trained, and that's why I say train them well. They are trained effectively that when they engage in combat with criminals, they must win. And I have no apologies for that. I want them to win. I expect them to win. And we train them and provide the equipment to do so.
See them so it got sleepy. The police them have to win, but all of the people. Some people dash at John's Road last night. The jerk chicken man son gets slapped with. Yes, and guess what? Me have the video can show the people them. So circle ends and come look for it.